Hello, we are reaching you live from iBrand News Studio in Lagos, Nigeria. Coming up, Emir of Zazzau raises alarm as bandits lay unbridled siege to Zaria. EFCC recovers $20 million US dollar worth of cryptocurrency loot from internet fraudsters. Olorunyomi Makun, popularly known as Yomi Casual, hospitalised after surviving a car crash. China's mission to the European Union urges NATO to stop exaggerating the China threat theory. Many thanks for joining us on News Now. Here are some stories we're tracking at this hour. I am Margaret Opera. President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday flagged off the construction of the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Train 7 project located in Bonny, River State. Buhari congratulated the NLNG and its shareholders for proving that a Nigerian company can operate a world-class business in safety, profitability and responsibility. He emphasized the focus of his administration is to boost the development of Nigerians' abundant gas resources, strengthen the gas value chain, develop the most needed infrastructure, and enhance safe operations in the sector as outlined in the National Gas Policy of 2017. Now present at the occasion are the Deputy Governor of River State, Minister of State for Petroleum, Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Managing Director of the NLNG, Chairman Board of NLNG, among others. The management of the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund is expected to appear before the Senate Public Accounts Committee today, Tuesday, to answer more questions on the query issued to it by the Auditor General of the Federation. The SPAC is currently scrutinizing the 2018 AUGF report, which indicted NSTRF management for allegedly diverting 61.1 billion naira. The AUGF query alleged that the NSTRF diverted 5.5 billion naira from its account to Zenith Bank. In another query, the NSTRF was alleged to have paid that 8.2 billion naira as personnel costs from 2012 to 2017, which was not approved by National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission. The query further alleged that the agency transferred 17.1 billion naira to some persons and companies from the same account. The chairman of the committee sector, Matthew Gogide, at the last sitting of the panel on Thursday, told the newly appointed managing director of the NSTRF, Dr. Michael Akabogu, that the agency had over 50 queries to respond to before the committee. The senator noted that the NSTRF queries remained the highest in the 2018 AUGF report. The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdul Rashid Bawa, on Tuesday said the anti-graft agency has recovered about $20 million worth of cryptocurrency loot from internet fraudsters, adding that the loot has been saved in the commission's e-wallet. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria had in February 2021 ordered banks and other financial institutions to identify persons and entities operating cryptocurrency exchanges and close all such accounts. It also stated that dealing with cryptocurrencies and facilitating payment through them is illegal in the country. Speaking on Tuesday, Bawa backed the CBN move, saying it has assisted in limiting avenues through which criminals launder the proceeds of their crimes in the country. The EFCC boss spoke as it today. There is nowhere in the country where cryptocurrency is being regulated. The EFCC is looking at an avenue in which people are laundering and receiving proceeds of crime, and that is our worry. End of quote. Meanwhile, the original inhabitants of the Federal Capital Territory have asked the federal government to, in the spirit of celebrating 21 years of democratic rule, consider giving state recognition to the Federal Capital. President of the Original Inhabitants Development Association, OIDA, Danladi Jeji, speaking to newsmen in Abuja, said alteration of provisions to the Constitution to actualize their demands will also address other issues of neglect of federal government indigents.
I mean, we won't have minister. You hear that they are not organized, that's why they don't give them minister. We are not demanding minister. No. The constitution says we are a state. So no state in Nigeria demand minister. Because the law, 1999 Constitution, section 147 says every state will produce a minister, provided that that person from that same state is an indigent of that state. Now, if we are indigent of FCT, you have to say we are not a state. Then you can't give us a minister because we are not having a governor. And the head will say it's our governor. Then we will have to ask for a minister. Which kind of country is this?
I posted that our farmlands, that they are busy selling billions and millions and trillions to go and build mansions in their homes and campaign as governors in their homes. It is somebody's property. They are thieves. It is somebody's property. They are sharing among themselves, building mansions, and in their homes, campaigning and then buying luxurious vehicles, roaming around, leaving us in the ditch.
While chairman of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) in Cross River State, Comrade Ben Ukpekpe, has been released by his abductors after 82 days in captivity. The Cross River State Police Command on Tuesday confirmed his release by abductors. Police spokesperson in the state, ASP Irene Ubo, said that Ukpekpe was released on Monday, June 14. No information was given on how Ukpekpe was released or whether ransom was paid or not. Ukpekpe was kidnapped on Sunday, March 21, 2021, in front of his house at the Crosspill Estate in Akpagboyo local government area of Cross River State. Now, Adamawa All Progressive Congress (APC) has accused the state government under the leadership of Muhammadu Buhari of claiming projects done by the federal government. However, the APC party, in a meeting with all stakeholders, party loyalists in Yola, presented a scorecard of projects done by the federal government across various local governments of the state.
We are assembled to take stock of the performance of our government and our elected representative for the first 2 years of the 4 years of the present tenure. And thirdly, we are here also to take stock of our own challenges in Adamawa State as a part.
The issue of infrastructure in Adamawa State. I want to thank the APC chapter in Adamawa State specifically for finding time to compile a compendium of so many infrastructural developments that the federal government has attracted to the state. I think that is key. In my own constituency alone, the president has awarded a contract to construct a road between Mayobela to Tongo at the rate of 22.507 billion. And that road has started in good earnest. And today I was on this road. I went and also commissioned infrastructure in that area. So you can see the president has done, and we are grateful to the people of Adamawa.
Efforts are constantly made by this present government to make sure that Nigerians live in peace, which is good for economic development. And we must also admit that all over the world we have security challenges here and there. Nigeria is not an exception. And we know that Nigeria may be a target to so many groups that are not happy the way Nigeria is going, and with a lot of potentials that are inherent in this country, many people of many countries may not be happy, and so such attacks may not be completely unexpected.
The Emir of Zazzau, Ambassador Ahmad Nuhu Bamali, has decried the security challenges occasioned by banditry and kidnapping in his domain, popularly Zaria, saying that bandits have laid unbridled siege to Zaria. The Emir would describe the security situation as unacceptable and a situation no one prayed for, added that residents of Zaria now feel vulnerable and are in a state of fear. Recall that a student was killed and 10 others, including 8 students and 2 lecturers, were kidnapped when bandits attacked Kaduna State-owned Nuhu Bamali Polytechnic in Zaria last Thursday. 12 other people were kidnapped by gunmen in an attack on a new residential area of Kofa Gayan, Kofa Corner axis of Zaria in the early hours of Sunday. Emir Bamali, who spoke when heads of security agencies in the state led by State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Mr. Samuel Aruwan, visited his palace yesterday, lamented that children can no longer go to school as bandits are moving about unchecked. He, however, called for urgent security action. Now, governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party on Monday held a closed-door meeting in Uyo, the capital of Akwa Ibom State. Those in attendance at the meeting include the House Governor Emmanuel Udom, Yesom Ezenwo Wike of Rivers State, Doye Duri of Bayelsa State, and Samuel Otam of Benue State. Others are Governors Ifeanyi Ugwanyi of Enugu, Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta, Ahmad Umaru Finturi of Adamawa, Godwin Obaseki of Edo, Governors Bala Muhammad of Bauchi, Sheyi Makinde of Oyo, and Zamfara State, who is being represented by his deputy Mahdi Aliyu Gusau. The chairman of the PDP Governors Forum and Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwa, had made a pledge to provide the needed platform for the party to return to power at the federal level in 2023. Tambuwa said on Sunday at the state banquet organized by the Akwa Ibom State government ahead of the forum meeting in Uyo. He promised that the PDP governors would not disappoint Nigerians looking up to them to actualize their yearnings for party to return to power in 2023.
Trajectory of the governance of PDP from 1999 to May 2015 and what we have today from May 2015 till today. And that was, in summary, the situation of things in Nigeria. But I assure you, of course, what the PDP leader had said, and several other leaders of this country, having confidence in the PDP, that by the grace of God, PDP should be positioned and do what is necessary by coming back to power in 2023.
The forum examined the operations of the Nigeria National Petroleum Operation (NNPC) and expressed alarm at the opaque manner it carries out its operation. It decried the recent NNPC's decision not to make its statutory contribution to the Federation account, thereby starving the states and local government, and indeed Nigerians, of funds needed for employment, development, and general well-being. The meeting emphasized that under the Constitution, the NNPC is duty-bound to make proceeds of sale or business of petroleum available to the Federation account, which belongs to the three tiers of government.
Plateau State Governor has called on residents of the state to increase surveillance in their communities so as to stop further attacks on them by gunmen. The governor made the call on Monday when he visited some communities attacked by gunmen in Just South local government area of the state. Lalong's call was contained in a statement issued after a visit by the Director of Press and Public Affairs, Government House Makut Machman. Lalong warned against attacks on innocent citizens and also asked communities to increase surveillance. We'll take a short break now. We'll be back for more stories. Welcome back. Now in African news, at least 15 people were killed on Tuesday in a suicide bombing at the army camp in Somali capital, Mogadishu. A Reuters witness who counted the bodies at Medina Hospital said. Officials of the hospital confirmed the dead were killed in an attack earlier in the day at an army camp. There was no immediate claim of responsibility. Islamic group Al-Shahab frequently carries out bombings in the Horn of African country. Now, a Somali military officer, Odwa Yusuf Raj, told state media earlier on Tuesday that 10 new recruits had been killed and 20 others wounded when a suicide bomber detonated explosive at the checkpoint outside of General Dagaban military training camp in the capital. A Ugandan military court on Monday released on bail 18 supporters of singer-turned-opposition leader Bobi Wine, detained since the start of the year on charges lawyers and government critics say are politically motivated. They were granted bail, so for now they have some temporary freedom, their lawyer, George Mustusi, told Reuters. The move follows the release on May 25th of a first batch of 17 activists from a group of 35 originally detained on December 30 for violating COVID-19 restrictions on the gatherings. They were subsequently charged in the military courts with weapon offences, even though all the accused are civilians. Bobi Wine, 39, whose real name is Robert Kugalwanyi, has over the last 3 years galvanized a large support base, especially among the country's youth, provoking a deadly crackdown from the government of veteran leader Yoweri Museveni, who is 76. And now on the foreign news, Japan's lower house of parliament voted down on Tuesday a no-confidence motion brought against the cabinet of Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga by opposition parties angered over its refusal to extend the current parliamentary session. The parties had sought a 3-month extension of the session beyond its scheduled end of Wednesday to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic, as Japan rushes to ramp on vaccination ahead of the Tokyo Olympics opening on July 23. Yuki Edano, leader of the main opposition Constitutional Democratic Party of Japan, told the lower house before the votes that they are refusing to extend parliament in the face of one of the worst crises for decades. Though Japan has not suffered the ravages of other nations over the virus, its slowness in vaccinating citizens and partial response have tainted support for Suga. China's mission to the European Union urged NATO on Tuesday to stop exaggerating the China threat theory after group leaders warned that the country presented systematic challenges. NATO leaders on Monday had taken a forceful stand toward Beijing in the communique at United States President Joe Biden's first summit with the alliance. NATO leaders had said China's stated ambitions and a set of behavior present systematic challenges to the rules-based international order and to areas relevant to alliance security. Now, the new U.S. president has urged his fellow NATO leaders to stand up to China's authoritarianism and growing military might, a change of focus for our alliance created to defend Europe from the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Now, up next is sport news.
Welcome to the Sports Update. I am Jidechi Chidi Ezie. Now, the tussles for the control of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria have been heightened after 2 separate presidents and boards of the federation got elected in 2 elections held in Abuja and Benin Kebbi. Now, the battle for the control of the AFN has been raging since a faction of the federation impeached Ibrahim Gusau as the board's president. Gusau, who challenged his impeachment in court, held onto his position even when the Supervisory Ministry of Youth and Sports Development elected to recognize his hitherto vice president as the leader of the federation up until the boards of all the country's federations were dissolved. The World Athletics later intervened, attempting to broker peace among the warring factions, and gave the AFN a June 14 deadline to conduct elections into the board of the federation without directly specifying who should conduct the polls. Now, both factions have chosen to do things their different ways, with Gusau picking his faction's electoral committee and holding polls in Kebbi State, while the sports ministry-supported faction held its own elections in Abuja. Delta State Sports Commission Chairman Tonobok Okowa emerged as the president after being elected unopposed with 43 out of 44 votes cast by the delegates in Abuja, while Tafida Gadzama was elected the first vice president and Rosa Collins returning as the second vice president, both unopposed. While in Benin, KB, Sunday, Adeleye and Nneka Ikem polled 15 and 13 votes respectively to emerge as the faction's first and second vice presidents. And on the foreign scene, Cristiano Ronaldo has said that he is looking forward to beginning Euro 2020 in front of a packed Puskás Arena against Hungary as he prepares to lead defending champions Portugal in their search for a repeat triumph. Now, the 36-year-old, who is set to take to the field in front of 68,000 fans in the Hungarian capital on Tuesday in what should be Portugal's simplest match in a tough Group F alongside Germany and world champions France, revealed that it is desire that every venue could host a full house. Ronaldo, who calls the Tuesday night fixture perfect, is expected to line up for Al Selecao alongside the likes of Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United, Diogo Jota, João Felix, Bruno Silva, and Ruben Dias. And that's all for now on the sports updates. Back to you in the studios.
Many thanks for that, Judechi. Up next is business news. And now in business news, the G7 Development Finance Institution, DFIs, has announced it would invest the sum of $80 billion in African private sector for the next 5 years in a bid to support post-pandemic economic growth. This was disclosed in a statement by the African Development Bank, AFDB, on Monday. DFIs made the announcement alongside the International Finance Corporation, IFC, of the AFDB, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, EBRD, and the European Investment Bank. The G7 DFI group consists of CDC Paparaco, France, Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, and Japan Bank for International Cooperation, DFC, US, FinDev, Canada, DEG, Germany, and CDP, Italy. UK Minister for Africa James Dowdridge disclosed the UK would proudly back the commitment, citing the investment will create jobs, boost economic growth, help tackle climate change and fight poverty, as it also comes with a crucial time as the continent rebuilds its economy severely impacted. Terminal operators must contribute to total construction and reorganization of the Apapa seaport, the federal government said on Monday. Minister of Transportation Rotimi GPK Amici said this was important because the problem with the seaport had revolved around efficiency issues. The minister also stated that he observed the drastic change in Apapa port on the day the President Major General Muhammadu Buhari retired, visited the facility to inaugurate the Deep Blue project. Amici described the seaport as a security area that was not meant for everybody, adding that the Federal Ministry of Transportation will partner with the Nigerian Customs Service and Nigerian Ports Authority to solve the problem in Apapa. And now Nigerian crude variants are now seeking other buyers in Asia and Europe as India's COVID-19 situation remains shrouded in uncertainty amid stringent regional lockdowns and weak domestic consumption. S&P Global Platts reported that most Nigerian crudes were trading at close to 12-month low. The country's flagship grade Bonny Light was last assessed at dated Brent minus 0.8 per US dollar, up from a recent low of minus 0.95 per barrel, but still close to the weakest it has been since May 2020. Now, Akpo condensate, normally a preferred grade for Indian refiners, was last assessed at dated Brent $2.10 per barrel, its lowest level since September 2020. Up next is our roundup on entertainment. Now, former Nollywood actress Tonto Dike has taken to social media to celebrate Ibuduni Igodalo a year after her death. In an emotional post, the film star remembered the late wife of Pastor Igodalo and how she reached out during her trying times. Tonto revealed that she never knew the former beauty queen until her death. Due to how she was celebrated, she decided to check out her Instagram page and discovered she had tried to reach out during Tonto's trying times. The former beauty queen died at the age of 39 in the early hours of Sunday morning, June 14, 2020 in Port Harcourt. Meanwhile, Olorunyomi Makun, popular fashion designer better known as Yomi Casual, has been hospitalized after surviving a car crash. The award-winning entrepreneur broke the news in an Instagram post in the early hours of Monday. In one of the photos shared on his page, the fashion designer could be seen in a hospital bed where he is receiving treatment. He also showed a picture of his badly damaged SUV as a result of the car's car accident. Now, it remains unclear what led to the accident as of the time of this report. Another note, we call News Now a wrap. For more stories, please visit our website, follow our social media platforms, leave a comment for us on the comment section. My name is Margaret Opara.